Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Tracy. We just went out to eat last weekend at a restaurant that we go out to eat at quite often. At least we used to. And we really haven't gone out too much recently because everything is just really expensive and I'm tired of spending so much money on a dinner that pretty much I can make at home. So this particular restaurant in our area is a sushi restaurant and I don't make sushi. So I figured we had something to celebrate for my daughter. So she loves sushi and I figured let's go to her favorite restaurant, and we did. And we always have to get there really early, like 5:30, because by 6 o'clock, this is a family neighborhood. The restaurant pretty much is packed by 6 o'clock. So we get there at about 5:30 like we usually do. There's only a few people at tables. And this is a Saturday night, and so we figured by 6 o'clock it's for sure going to be full. So we're in there, we're eating, we're ordering, our food's starting to arrive, and we're eating, and then we're probably like halfway through our meal, and then I look around in the restaurant like I always do, and it's usually full, and I'm like, woo, we got here on time. And there's literally like almost nobody else in the restaurant. There's like maybe 3 or 4 tables full, and this restaurant would normally have like 20 tables full. And so there you go. There's just another sign. People are not going out to eat. This is a really good sushi restaurant. And so what I was also noticing is that since we had been there, they had changed the menu, which to me means they probably raised all their prices, because why would you redo all your menu unless you had to raise all the prices? And they were trying to do things to make the restaurant seem like it's a little bit nicer of a restaurant, like a little bit fancier. They put some new lights on the table that were kind of cool. What else had they done? They'd changed their uniforms, the people working there, so they were kind of nice and new. What else did they do? I'm trying to think what else they'd done. It felt like they had done a couple things. I can't really remember, but it just felt like they'd made a few changes since we had been there. So it'd probably been like, 3 or 4 months since we had been there. And it just felt like a little bit like they were trying to make the place nicer. So I'm thinking they're trying to make it nicer because they're trying to get people to come in, is my guess, because they're just not busy like they used to be, especially on a Saturday night at like prime dinner hour for families, which is 6 o'clock. So it's just another sign of the times. I think people aren't eating out, at least not in our area. I don't know if they're eating out in your area like they were, but maybe you can let me know in the comments, like, are people going out to eat for dinner at the restaurants that they normally would go out to eat at in your area? Like in our area, they're not. And I live in sort of a suburban neighborhood in a big city in California. So if people are going to be out, like I think they're probably out in certain restaurants still, but like some restaurants are still doing okay, maybe if they're the most popular restaurants, but if they're like in a suburban area or kind of on the outskirts of town, maybe they're not doing so well. And I just think people are tightening up. It's like so expensive to eat dinner out. And by the way, our bill for this night, and I have 2 teenagers now, so my teenage son definitely eats more than he used to. But our bill was almost double what it had been before when we went. And I did have a glass of wine. My husband, I don't even think he didn't even have a beer. So my kids had what they normally have. We probably ate a little bit more sushi because I have a teenage boy now, but for the bill to double what it would have normally been, that's crazy. So that's why we don't eat out. That's why we can't have nice things anymore. Things have gotten so expensive. And so that's why we just don't eat out that much anymore. And I think, restaurants are continuing to suffer, and I don't really know what we can do about it personally. Like, what do you do about it? I mean, like if it's going to cost you, like just for us to go out and have a hamburger kind of meal at a casual restaurant, that's $60 to $80 now at least. So to go out for something a little bit nicer, to be so much more, it's just not worth it. It's got to be amazing food, like amazing food. It can't just be like, oh, I don't feel like cooking, let's go out to eat because it is so expensive. It actually has to be amazing or we're not going to go. So I think restaurants are in trouble. I think people are tightening the reins on their wallets. They're tightening up what their spending is. And then one of the first things to go is that type of spending. Like, nobody needs to eat out. We can all eat at home. So I wonder what other people's experiences are in their area. If you can let me know what's happening in your area, I would love to hear it. But that's what's going on in my area, and I'm sorry to see it happening because I love eating out and I love supporting local businesses, but there's only so much you can do when the prices are getting so high. Like, inflation is just continuing to creep higher. I'm not sure. I think they're saying it's less than it was before, but to me, it still feels like it's just going up so fast, just crazy fast. Anyway, let me know what's going on in your area. I'd love to hear it, and I'll just let you know what else I notice. All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.